Maybe lesser bit rates require less packets to function, so even if high packet loss is a function, so we can't confidently say it's a download speed issue. Well, the packets always... It's more of like whether there is... Like, your packet loss should happen regardless of what you're downloading, right? Like, it's... So if you're experiencing it for one and not the other... Okay, I just turned on the stream. Hopefully, like, the options show up. Are you guys getting options? Let me see. Yeah, I have 160 and then down to actually 480. So you can actually try the in between now. Hopefully my PC doesn't blow up, but it seems like it's working fine right now. The you can toggle between the 720 and the 480 setting and see if well, you can toggle between the 720, 480, and 360, and you can see at which point does it like start packet lossing, I guess, or like start buffering. I guess it's also a little different. I am with the Twitch broadcast, I can't actually set my frame rate, if I'm not mistaken. So I do think it does automatically default me to 30 FPS if it's not 1080, if I'm not mistaken. So that might also be a difference. Like, it might not just be... Maybe the 720, you can try the 720 30 FPS and see if that one works for you. Because if that's the case, then maybe it's an FPS issue, actually. And then maybe I can... I guess streaming on 30 FPS is kind of sus, though. I'm on 360. Does the 360 work stable so far? Why don't you try bumping to the 480 and see if anything changes there? It's a good way to test because there's like multiple levels of bump that you can slowly test the breaking point. So far so good. Alright, let's go to 720. So far so good on 480. Nice, nice. We're getting there. Wait, why am I here again? I should be here. I'm on 720p now, okay. Is it still working or is it throttling? Wait, did I already come? Oh, I must be going here then. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes or so to see how stable it is for a longer period of time. Somehow no issues yet. Okay, so the only difference is this one is 720 30 FPS. That's the only difference. By now it would have buffered, yeah. So like, I'm guessing like earlier on you tried the 720 60 already, right? So you were throttling at the 720 60. And now you can try the 1080. Is the 1080 a 60 or a 30 or for this one? I don't know actually. Which one does it give me? Is it 720 60 on this one? Oh, it is 60. Oh, so 720 is working for you now? 1080 is 60. Is the 1080 working for you? I guess it's working now, Lamau. Oh, interesting. So, that's actually very interesting. I didn't think this would be a... So the problem is not the bandwidth then. What happens with the Twitch enable? Okay, 1080 is too much though. Okay, yeah, if you don't want to waste your data, just go back down to like whatever you want. But as long as you've tested it, it does sound like the problem is not the data then. It's not the size then. That's what it sounds like. The issue may be... So what the Twitch encoder does besides doing the multi-stream thing, right, Besides doing the multi-stream thing, the other thing that it does is it actually sort of just overrides my output settings completely. So I can't set like what quality I want my output to be. I can't set the bitrate. Um, I don't actually know what's coming through. Actually, I can monitor it, I guess. Um, or about 10. I'm at about 11K bitrate, or like averaging around like 10,000 bitrate right now, which is split among the 4 streams. So my guess is it's a bitrate thing then, because on my when I turn this off, my bitrate is set at 8,000, right? I told you guys. So at 10,000 split between 4 streams, where I think my 720 stream would have a much lower bitrate. I meant to say 1080 buffers. I don't care about data limits. I have unlimited. Oh, so what 1080 does buffer? Oh, okay. Huh. So if your 1080 does buffer, then I think it's a bitrate thing then. It occasionally buffers on 420, but 480. Okay, so there's still buffering. Gotcha. So I think it's a bitrate thing then. So the 720 at the higher bitrate. So both of them are 720/60, but the one I think the big difference is this one probably has a much lower bitrate on the 720 stream. I don't know if you can test the bitrate on your end, because I only get to see the total bitrate. I don't get to see like the individual stream bitrate. I don't know whether I don't even know whether I'm seeing the total or the max bitrate, but anyway. Probably the total bitrate, because 10,000 seems a bit high for like Twitch standards. Right. So my guess with 10,000, I need to think about this. Like how much bigger is like one from the next? Enable stats for nerds on Twitch. Nerds on Twitch. That stat for nerds on Twitch. Is that like a power viewer? Stats for nerds is a YouTube feature. Oh wait, is there one for Twitch? When I search it, it just tells me YouTube. It's on players settings, I think. Let me check. Stats advanced maybe. I don't. Oh, video stats. Okay, I see it. So it's 1,000 on the lowest one, and then 720. Oh, sorry, it's not 1,000. It was like less than 1,000. 720 is at 2,500. This is running a 720 stream at 2,500 bitrate, which is like you're probably seeing a lot of artifacts on the screen. I'm guessing, because there's just like barely any bitrate to like actually see the game. So it's 2,500 only on the 720 stream, and then on the 1080. Let me just look at this. Okay, so the 1080 does go to 6,000 average bitrate. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. So actually most of my bandwidth is taken up by the 1080 one, which I don't really need, to be honest. Like none of my viewers are gonna be watching in 1080. So what I don't know what happens if I limit the number of streams to 3. I might get 720, 480, and 240. The 2 version gives me 720 and 360. Sorry, not 240, 360. Not gonna lie, 480p is not blurry. 480p is not blurry on your and I play at 4K. I mean, on your phone is different, right? Do you play at 4K on your phone? That doesn't make sense, right? I mean, your phone. I guess there are 4K displays on your phone if you have like really good phones. But I don't know if my human eyes probably can't tell. But I would agree, like about 480 on your phone is probably good enough. It will look crisp. already at about 480. 720 it will look like the most crisp on your phone. It'll be like can barely see any difference beyond 720 I think on the phone. So it seems like it actually is a bitrate thing. So maybe I can, if I stream 720. Oh, actually I didn't test 480's bitrate, but my guess is the 480 bitrate was around 2500, or maybe less than that. Let me check it. Actually, I didn't test the 480 version. Zero issues on 480 so far. Okay, so 480 is on 30 FPS though, so it's lower in that sense. Advanced video stats, I have it. Yeah, 480 is only going at 1000 bitrate. There's like 1000 bitrate on 480. And you said like at 2500 bitrate, you were getting like occasional lags, right? So, because 2500 is the 721. So all I gotta do is stream at 720, 60 FPS at 1000 bitrate. At 1000 bitrate, and then you'll be smooth as butter. I don't know if bitrate is the exact same thing as download speed though. I don't know if they're like 1-to-1 equivalent there. I feel like download speeds are like slightly different idea in general, like compared to streaming. They probably also give you like an average download speed number, it's not like a consistent download speed number. I don't know. I keep getting these like ads for like, hey, get a gigabit down for like Google Fiber, and I'm like, how much is it? And they're like, oh, it's like $200, and I'm like, yeah, that I'll pass, thanks. I'll pass. I'm good with my $30 a month trash download speed. Oh, I was in the Archon 2 game. That's why it was such a crazy game. Like I was probably like one of the highest MMRs in that game. Gosh. No wonder that felt like such a weird game. Like all the heroes were like didn't really make sense. Like the Drow wasn't even playing well either. Oh, that's what you get. Oh, I did die at 315. Yeah, I did die once, 315. And I got 3 kills that game? Dang. Game was easy. It does seem like I can stream like this for Genshin. I probably can't stream like this for Wilds though. Seems still pretty smooth on my end here. Why not do 720p, 60, and 480p? I can't choose the thing. That's the only issue. Like when I enable the Twitch broadcaster, it doesn't allow me to choose what settings I can make. The only thing that I can change is how many channels. No, sorry, how many settings appear. I can only change the number, so it tells me I can either stream on 1, 2, 3, or I mean I guess 1 I don't even need it, but 2, 3, or 4 streams essentially. So I can only toggle between 2, 3, and 4. So 4 gives me like, looks like I get these 4, and 1 gives me 720 and 360. So my guess is 3 will give me 720, 480, and 360. But I can't choose like the middle two, if that makes sense. I don't actually know what 3 gives me though. It could give me 1080, 720, and 480 or something along those lines. Dumb. Yeah. It also doesn't allow me to like customize how it's doing the splitting. Like there's literally like no customization. You just turn it on and everything else it overrides. It overrides all of your settings for the output. But I guess it was just Twitch's way of saying like, oh, we don't have enough bandwidth to like give you guys the ability to toggle, so we'll just like make it all done by your PC instead. I think that's what Twitch basically did. I think it's fine, I guess. At least people in smaller streams have access to quality settings now. Sure, it is a bit at the expense of the streamer's PC, but at least for games like Genshin, seems to be working. Wilds is just an exception because Wilds is just being Wilds stuff. But yeah, I agree having the quality settings is pretty important. There are a lot of folks who consume Twitch very differently. A lot of people are like on their phone, but I mainly consume Twitch on the PC, so I like higher settings. But I like the lower setting and the higher setting typically, because the lower setting is like when I'm AFK or I'm just like listening to it but doing something else on the side. Then I like to set it to the lowest setting. The thing I want to complain about though is that the PC doesn't have an audio only, which I think is kind of annoying. Like I'm trying to like save as much as possible by going at like 160, but I would very much prefer just audio only, and then it'll save like a ton. Like even at 160, like the difference between 160 and just audio only is probably quite a big difference, because you just don't have that many frames. Audio files just tend to be a lot smaller, so I just want audio only for PC users, please. Justice for PC. Also, I realized I haven't gotten Jean's skin yet. Forgot why I haven't bought it yet. Oh wait, I think it's because I was waiting to max friendship Jean. How close is Jean to max friendship? Oh, she's max friendship already? Oh no, not max friendship, sorry, max level Jean. I was waiting to get Jean to level 90, so that will still be a while. At that point, I think we can finally do like Jean's Echoes quest. I'm on 70 frame, it's pretty decent with occasional hiccups. It's 720p 60, slightly lower bitrate in the single stream. 720. It's actually much lower bitrate. The 720 stream was right now is 2500 bitrate. And the one I was doing earlier is 8000 bitrate. But I think it was coming through as around 6000 bitrate because of Twitch stuff. So we can say like it's like the original one is 6000 bitrate, and what you're seeing now for the 720 60 is 2500 bitrate, which is quite a lot smaller actually. It's quite a significant dip. 6000 to 2500, it's like less than half. Yeah, but you didn't confirm with Twitch stats, right? For the 6K bitrate. No, I mean we could test it, but I think we tested it before that it was coming through at 6K. I think that was like one of the previous streams where we were talking about the bitrate. But I was sending 6000 bitrate. I guess it could be lower than 6000 bitrate. So, I mean, we could try, but you're probably gonna... I guess if OBS is 6K, then it's 6K single. Yeah, it's 6K single for that one, because there was only like a single stream being put out. I mean the live bitrate indicator. Yeah, the live one was saying 6K. The live one was saying 6K on the well, averaging around 6K for the 720 to 60p stream that I was doing originally. And I guess no point testing. Yeah, I mean, it does sound like it's a bitrate thing. Then it's not so much the resolution or the size. And you're saying you still get it occasionally, right? Even at 2500, which I would consider to be actually pretty low on the low end of things. 2500. It's like less than half of 6000, which is the Twitch default, which we know is the Twitch default-ish bitrate. Like 2500 is like less than half of that. It's kind of wild. Hasn't buffered in a solid 10 minutes. Okay, so 2500 might be like a good... How do I put it? Like a good stopping point. Because I don't think people are going to watch at 1080 anyway. Like, I feel like there's not much point in watching at a 1080. I typically only watch 1080 for like shows or like if it's like a cutscene, right? That I'm watching. And I feel like 1080 makes sense. For most streams, like I generally don't go to the max. 720 for me is like good enough. Good enough compromise. I'm kind of curious though, if I switch it to 3 and then I see like how much it... If I switch it to 3 and then see how it reorganizes the bitrate, whether I still get a 1080 stream or if I get a 720 stream, because it might reallocate the bitrate a little bit. And I think in my 2 stream, right, like when I was streaming on 2 levels, I think you were throttling on the 720 version. So my guess is that when I was on 2 stream, it was probably allocating a higher bitrate to 720. Yeah, most people have streams as second monitor content. Yeah, exactly. Like you're just like consuming it passively on the side rather than like actively watching the stream. A friend of mine just finished the During quest. Like, finally got it done in the last minute. The mouse. I'm sure there are people complaining about not being able to get the During quest rewards now. Because they left it for too late. I'm pretty sure there are people out there that haven't done it. I mean, at that point, like, why are they still playing Genshin? I feel like more and more, a lot of my... Like, I used to play Genshin with, like, a group of friends who had actually introduced me to the game. And I feel... And, like, they've slowly started dropping out and stopped playing the game. They're, like, still, like, playing a lot more casually now. But I feel like at some point they're gonna... At some point pretty soon, they're probably going to just quit entirely. Because it doesn't sound like they have fun with the game anymore. I'll stick around to the end even if I become homeless. Staff of homeless confirmed. Staff of homeless. Although if you become homeless, how will you even have like the internet to do it? I guess there are a lot of free internet spots that you could actually connect to. Like I say, I might stick around to the end, but I don't actually know what the end is. Is there even an end? Question mark? Is it just gonna be like You know, Impact Third, where it doesn't actually end, question mark. I'm just gonna keep milking it forever. Like, I don't know, is there an end, question mark? Are they actually gonna tie a ribbon at the end of the story, or is it just the fate of an ongoing game that you'll never have a little knot at the end? I don't know. But I would be very surprised if... Well, I guess the game has been going on for what? Maybe 10 years, maybe at the 10-year mark. If we set like an actual like finite number of years, it's probably easier to judge whatever the end is. Maybe we'll say like, I'll stick around for 5 more years. Man, that's a long time. 5 years is a long time. Can't actually believe I've been playing this for like 5 years, but it is what it is. Coming up on the 6th year at this point. Lamau. 5 years, man, that is crazy. I mean, I have played Dota for a much longer time, but I've played Dota on and off. Whereas for Genshin, I've played it like every day without fail. I don't think I've missed a day. Like, even when I was traveling, I was like bringing my phone and like making sure I still logged in and did all my dailies at least. You know, done every single event and all the exploration for all those 5 years. Not even casual, not even a casually 5 years, like a pretty dedicated 5-year run, you know. Where is this guy? What, did Setos just die again? Oh my gosh. Yeah, these guys do too much damage, right? It's just unfair at this point. I'm pretty excited about next patch though. Next patch is going to be pretty wild. We're gonna get a full Lantern Rite, and Lantern Rite like never disappoints. Right, like Lantern Rite really never disappoints. So, and then we're gonna get like a really big finale on the Not Cry arc. I don't know if it's I don't think it's gonna be the end of the Not Cry arc, but probably the end of like the big climax of the arc. Because we're finally dropping Columbina on the banner, so that it should like basically wrap up most of her story. And then I think the next couple of patches are just gonna be like interlude type of quests. They could do 2 interludes, so we could see like a Act 9 and 10, 11 and 12 maybe. But I think it's gonna be great, the next patch. It's gonna be pretty huge. Can't wait to fight new weekly boss. Another weekly boss to add to my collection of weekly bosses. That would be fun. I'm gonna have to like... Hey Lucky, have you done the weekly boss yet? The new weekly boss? Oh wait, now that I'm mentioning it, that's why Columbina is probably gonna use the new weekly boss mats, isn't she? So people ain't gonna be able to level up her talents to like max out for a while. That's always a painful thing, I think. Those talent mats. And I don't think you can convert between bosses either. You can only convert within the same boss, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're gonna get a new weekly boss. That means that we'll probably be dropping Arlecchino going forward. When we do weeklies, if we're lucky. Probably gonna be new boss, Mavica, and then not Mavica, new boss, Natland Dragon, and actually no, we're dropping Whale, right? Do we usually do Whale? No, we're not dropping Whale. No, actually we might be dropping. Yeah, we will be dropping Arlecchino because we'll be doing Natland Dragon, Notcry, new weekly boss, and chess boss. It's probably fine. I feel like I should be able to solo Arlecchino boss at this point. Jean definitely helps a ton. That boss is pretty scary though. Oh, I should actually check this. So, domain. Trounce domains, I have 3 more. Okay, that's correct. They really need to give us more halving opportunities. Just make everything half, Koyo. 30 resin for all the weekly bosses, please. So I can use the rest of my resin. Or random books. Honestly, how much more do I get? If they made every weekly boss only cost 30, it would actually save me... How many weekly bosses are there? It's a good question. I used to know this, but like, it's been so long. Okay, we need to add 1 to this list, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus Boreas. There's 12 already. And we're gonna hit 13 with the new Not Cry one. I do chess, math boss, and Mondo Dragon. Mondo Dragon? Wait, why Mondo Dragon? Like Divalin? Is it because a lot of characters use Divalin mats? Like a lot of the OG 1.0 characters? That might be right. I think that makes sense. It's pretty funny because a lot of people will say like, oh, they claimed the mega box, but they haven't claimed the daily commission yet. And people thought that once you claim the mega box, there was no other rewards, but it's not true. Not true. Every day you can still go back to Libban to collect your box, right? Regardless of whether you collected your mega box. Libban is the goat, though. Actual goat. No, because it's the fastest. It's for the resin thingy you get. Oh, resin thingy? You mean the solvent? Do you get resin thingy? I'm trying to remember. The converter. Oh, the dream solvent, yeah. That's the dream solvent. Actually, wasn't there a different converter as well? I didn't know what it does, but... Wasn't there a Dust of Azov thing at some point? I don't know if they're still like giving that out, but... I don't even remember what that one does anymore. I gotta look it up in my inventory. I've definitely not really used it. They introduced this thing called the Dust of Azov at some point. I don't remember if I still have it, or if it's still useful. Should be in here, right? Maybe it's in talent mats. We got a crown. Got my billets here. It's in the shop, yeah. The shop? Oh, Dream Solvent, here it is. Oh, the Azov is here. Here we are. Ultra hot burning. What is this? Yeah, I don't know if they're still giving these out, but these are used to like convert, I think, the different elemental type. for like your little like I think I used this once before when I ran out of like pyro at some point or something. To level up one of my pyro characters, but then quickly like I didn't have to use it anymore because I just have so many of those slivers. I have a lot of slivers, a lot of these character slivers. I don't even know where they put it. Is it still in here? Yeah, it's here. Like I have thousands of these slivers, all from Catherine probably, maybe from other places, but thousands of these slivers. We'll never be able to use those. Like use those up. Like, even if you divide by 9, that's still like 100 of those. Which is like 100 gems. It's a lot. The Primo shop, I use them. Ah, I see, I see. I didn't realize they sold those in the Primo shop. I guess it does kind of feel like a scam, but then again, everything in the Primo shop is, besides select few items, are kind of a scam. Not for the Primos though. What is even in the Primo shop? Is it this one? Purchase your Primo gems. There's only 2 things here as a fate. This is the Stardust shop. You get Dust of Ace off in here. I see, I see. Yeah, these are all scams. Like, why would you spend Star Glitter for Mist Grass Pollen? Like, huh? Huh? I guess there are folks that don't want to play the game and just want to like get the characters, which I understand. Those folks definitely exist. Ain't got time to play games, but want to feel like they have the best characters and stats and stuff. Just like drop a ton of cash in there. Oh, I'm lagging. That thing never showed up. What? Scammed. That OBS lag. Felt like an OBS lag. getting sleepy. Gonna have to eat dinner in a little bit. I feel like after a good run, I'm always like crazy hungry. I buy tons of Mora books and weapon upgrade mats from it. Oh really? Well, I guess the Stardust is different from the Star Glitter, right? I'm guessing Stardust just doesn't have a lot of good things you can use it on. Is that right? I don't actually know what you can buy in this shop. Like there's Star Glitter, which you would probably just use it for like the characters or stuff. And Stardust Exchange. Well, I guess you could just buy Fates, but I guess that's also like one of the Fates is pretty good though, right? Like one Fate is still like 160 primos. I guess it's not like a ton. It's not like a ton. But I always thought most people just bought more wishes as refunds. At least once they have the 4-star characters who are in the rotation cycle. Everything else is going like just get the wishes. Call it good. Natland time. Just buy both monthly shop pulls. Oh yeah, I guess there's on both sides. Like you can get it from the Star Glitter side or the Stardust side of things. Do you actually buy the Acquaint Fate ones though? I'm guessing less people buy the Acquaint Fate ones. Because why would you want to waste it on the standard banner? I mean, granted, there's always a limit, so if you have like unlimited amount, then sure, but probably only makes sense to buy the limited one, right? The intertwined fates. So you'll get like intertwined from both the Stardust side and the Star Glitter side. I don't even know when we actually do get Star Glitter or Stardust actually. I know Star Glitter you get it when you repeat. You get you get a character con or something. Although I think it only works if you pull the character. It doesn't work if you... Kinda just got like the constellation. Like when you do the temper thyself picker, I don't think you actually proc any of the bonuses you get as if you were like wished for the character. Like you don't get those rebates on the Star Glitter or Stardust when you choose the temper thyself constellation character, because it's not the same as like getting a wish. Like it's not the same as like wishing and getting it. So I think that's probably why they changed it. Wait, how did I drop? Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not how it works. Do I need to jump up this area? No, not like this. Not like this. Alright, finally got back here. I really wonder if anybody has done the artifact runs and not cry yet. Artifact routes not cry. Anybody done these? Easy Breeze Resort is currently the best. Guessing Easy Breeze has a lot too. That makes sense. Might have to check that out. Because Easy Breeze you can run around with the little guy, so it's technically faster, I think. That could make sense. These routes focus on artifact EXP over time. No need to have Mora in every artifact spot. Okay. 5.8 brought massive changes to Morax routes. The focus route got pretty big changes too. Easy Breeze Market is 14k XP, 19090 combined. Expected resource gain is higher, only behind Sekem and Kemenu. Makes sense. Kemenu Temple is quite a bit too, but it's very hard. My time for market has improved dramatically with optimization, making it an even bigger deal than I thought. Artifact fodder can be destroyed for Mora, lol. 43 out of 122 are from the Easy Breeze Resort this time. Using market extension at Route A, Kemenu Temple goes to Route B. I've taken the opportunity to move the other Sumeru spots to Route B. Makes sense. Alright. We are getting hungry, so I'm gonna go make dinner. For a bit. We'll leave this on. I'll still be around. But we will take a little bit of a rest here. Let's see, where is a good place to rest? I know. Why don't we visit? I know. Excuse my puns. Let's visit. I know. Oh, they're even playing a game right now. Hasutete. I will say though, like, this area is very comfy music, so. You need to find a spot to sit so he doesn't like keep talking. Alright, we'll sit here. Let's enjoy the view of Aino sort of just just watching Ineppa do stuff. Also, why am I on this team? Oh wait, this is Auroran. Alright. Be right back, guys. I don't think you have to be a whale to buy both. Over time, you get enough. Is that true? Like how many? I don't actually know, but um, you still have to be regularly pulling, right? Like you have to be. Can you skip a patch or like how the? Typically, like how much do you get over time? I guess. But I know you get some from 4 stars as well, right? When you pull 4 stars, so you technically get some every like couple of pulls. Just nice. Definitely get some after every couple of pulls. It needs to be a nice spot to sit here, but probably can skip, but long term very durable. Yeah. Oh wait, I have a pose now. Yeah, my Jean has a pose. Very cute. Not change expression when using lesbian background blur. What is this? Ooh. Got bokeh going on. That's pretty cool. You can even adjust the bokeh. What? Autofocus. What is this? Pretty cool. Hey, look at camera doesn't work when you're having that up. I think this is like one of my favorite shots in Not Cry. I feel like Hoyo's strategy though has definitely morphed to like making people not have to like not skip anymore. Like they put like so many good characters that need to work together. So like a lot of people are definitely complaining about it. What, you put Nefa and Columbina on the same banner? Dang. Kind of think that like Columbina is gonna work well with like every non-cry character. I'm mad too, Lou. But Columbina is gonna work well with any not cry character. So like no matter who they put on the banner together with Columbina, the only way they could have done it is like they don't put a not cry character, which wouldn't make sense because they, like maybe that character's not gonna do very well, right? So, there's gonna have to be a character that works well with her, and like the only characters that work well with her are like not cry characters. So no matter what, like there's no there's no nice way to put a character in there. I think whether it's like gonna be like Nefer Llama and Flynn probably like way too early, right, for the rerun. So it probably only makes sense for Nefer to be there. So, but they definitely intentionally put stuff like Silali Mavica. I wonder who they're gonna put in Nicole. Since now we know Alice is probably not gonna be in Not Crime based on the live stream. Um, and what they showed there was the upcoming characters like Alice wasn't on. any of the upcoming characters. Obviously, that doesn't mean like it's completely out of the way, but like it's completely 0%. But highly likely, Alice is not going to come out until after Luna patch. So I'm really curious to see who they're going to put Alice. It's not Alice, sorry. Who they're going to run with Nicole. They basically confirmed Nicole is going to come sometime, they're not, right? My guess is it's going to be Nicole Durin. Like Nicole with a Durin rerun. Because Durin just ran, right? And then by the time Nicole comes, it'll be about 3 patches down the road. So my guess is going to be Nicole and rerun Durin. So now that I think about it, yeah, the character banner doesn't have a isn't like the weapon banner. Like the weapon banner is like a chart epitomized chart path, right? So like if you lose, you can lose to the other weapon. But is it if you lose, you can lose to the other weapon, or do you always lose to the 5-star? Oh no, yeah, yeah. It's if you lose, you can switch to the other weapon, and then um you can reset, switch to the other weapon, and get a guarantee either of the weapons, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but not sure which one. But I believe the epitomized path like gives you. The people are posting on the Reddit like the strategy to do the weapon banner is that if you lose your first one, is to reset it, and then chart on the chart to the other one. Um, and that's the best way to get both of the weapons. You can't do that at the character banner because they don't. You can't try to path, and like if you lose, you're just gonna lose. You can't lose to the other character. You can only lose the standard, and like it's. Are they the same banner? No, I think the character PDs do carry across the 2 character banners. Um, but there's no like epitomized path from that regard. You just guarantee that character if you the next time. So the only I think additional buff was the capturing radiance one. And capturing radiance, I don't know if it's true, but I think it only works on the character banner, if I'm not mistaken, right? There's no capturing radiance on or like equivalent for like weapon banner or any of the other banners. I'm guessing because I guess it wouldn't make sense. Will begin on January 14th. Yeah, January 14th is when it drops. Oh wait, they were saying in the teaser for in Columbina's character review, not teaser thing or announcement, I guess. They were like I think it was a quote from the Saritsa talking about Columbina. So people are saying we might actually she might actually be involved somehow. Which makes sense. Arlecchino did allude to that a little bit. Like Arlecchino was the one who reported to Tsaritsa what the doctor was doing. So it is highly like it is not highly likely, but it is possible that the Tsaritsa does something. She might not show up, but like she will probably have some hand to play in defeating the Tori, maybe. I'm not sure though, but that could be cool. It could be a cool way to tease Tsaritsa. No way Elsa is gonna help us stop the Torre Lamar. Elsa. Are we gonna get Elsa in Genshin Impact? Remember to save one of your weekly boss loot claims for this weekly boss. Yes. Or just do it anyway. Like, you don't really have to save the one claim boss loot. What is this? Wild. Droll Dancy. Where are you getting all these emotes? Gotta check my dinner. Where's the cooking stream? Lol. People actually like cooking streams. I've always found them kind of boring. I guess maybe if you like cooking, but not gonna be like a master chef. It's just gonna be like seasoning some stuff and putting it in the pot or an oven and just waiting for a long time. I guess it is kind of can be kind of chill. Definitely not an active cook. I don't like things that I have to cook actively. I'm a very passive cooker. Things are cooking. Be here. Down with 18 chin for the week. 418, this hacker, what cheater. Instant pot meals, huh? I actually want to do more instant pot meals. That sounds like a really good idea. I do have an instant pot, but it's like a bit too large. So unless I'm like cooking for like the whole week or something. But I definitely want to try one of those instant pot recipes one day. Maybe I'll make a curry. I feel like making a curry is a good idea. I'll make myself a good chicken curry.
That's pretty good. Well, gatekeeping his curry. Gatekeeping. Probably use a publicly available recipe. For that actually. Curry sounds really good in the winter. It hasn't been that cold. It'll probably get colder sometime in February, but or maybe it's just it's just climate change and we're not getting cold winters anymore. We'll probably get at least 1 week of snow. At least. Maybe not the full week, maybe a couple of days of the week. But maybe like 2 days. Apparently a Chinese player is building Silent Hill in Millie Astra. Wow. Nice. Let me read this hot take of a Reddit post. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't think the game needs to explicitly state or show that Alice or Daughter as evil. Alice as evil? Wait, what? Ain't no way. I mean, Daughter as evil, I can understand, but Alice as evil? I've recently seen a lot of posts saying that they don't like the way Alice or Daughter's crimes are ignored. That is how in specifically Alice's case, they don't like the way she explicitly stated to be a good person in game, despite her many horrific actions. Now I personally think that Hoyo doesn't need to go out of the way to show whether these two are evil or not. In the case of Daughter, she hasn't exactly appeared in the game for them to deep dive into her character. Now for Alice, I have seen some discourse, there isn't much difference between her and Dottore. Bull? Oh, there's a difference and a pretty big one. Alice has helped us on numerous occasions, while Dottore has been nothing but an obstacle. It has already been established that travelers don't have a straight and narrow moral compass. They are friendly with anyone that is helpful to them, despite any moral wrongs they have committed, such as Arlecchino, Sandro, Shroud Rouge, and so on. If Dottore was helpful to the traveler, then the game would not treat him like a villain. Whether a character is a good person has never been a criteria for traveler to be nice to them. I guess that's fair. That's also like true for like normal people, right? Also, as a side note, Alice was called a good person by Paimon, as we know she's not the best judge of character. I.e., the story doesn't need to hold your hand and explicitly tell you whether someone's good or bad. They're all morally grey and it's up to you whether you like the character or not. I think that's a fair statement. Terrorists? Ain't no way. Both terrorists? I'm still convinced Alice is trolling us. I'm positive she wrote the Tebat guide with explicit intention to mess with the player base. It feels completely in character for her to mess with the player base, just as she does everyone else. The only mention of crimes is the guide that she herself wrote. That's fair. And we can't verify it with any of the other characters. Lisa doesn't mention the proposal, and no one mentions the ruins of Old Monster, and all we get from Albedo and Alice is that she's very strong, and that's it. The Doctor is not grey. I do feel like it would be cool if they made him a little bit more grey though. Like everybody loves a good villain arc, right? Like the reason like Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame was so impactful was that sure he's like the big baddie, right? But he had like a well written sort of like story and he had his own sense of morality, I guess. And he stuck to it. Even towards the end when he died, he wasn't like he was just farming. Like poor guy was just farming and the Avengers went and killed him. Out of revenge. And like like do you remember that scene? I don't know if you watched Endgame or like the Avengers series, but essentially after he did his big bad thing, he just went to retire on the countryside and went to farm. It's like this guy just wants to live in peace, man. And then the Avengers like to get revenge and then just like kill him. And it was like such an unsatisfying death because like it didn't matter. It really looked like the Avengers were just like the bad guys in that moment, a little bit. But they just basically just hunted down an innocent man. Well, not an innocent man, but they hunted down a man who was just farming. He wasn't going to commit any more crimes. Just like off his head. And then after that scene, they were like, "Did that feel good? No, that didn't feel good either." I agree that the tutorial hasn't really been written to be very great though. We do see some of his like backstory, but his backstory doesn't have very like favorable implications of what he is either. Like they've all painted him in kind of a bad light. So I feel like that's a bit unfortunate. It would have been cooler if like we had some history about him where like maybe as a child or when he was like a teenager or as a researcher like he actually like had good parts to him, right? Like that's why Rarier was like so well loved, I think. I can draw a parallel to Osama right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't actually know much about Osama's backstory to be honest, so it was a while ago. But essentially like Rarier was really well loved because like he had like a whole like villain arc where he like slowly descended into madness. and nobody's pretending like he's like, good person, but like he had good parts to him, right? Like there were like human moments to him, and which I think like really helped to sell him as a like a true villain. I don't know if the Torre is gonna get the same like um you know same kind of treatment. The Torre is mostly like, oh, people just hate him, they're just gonna like destroy him. But Rere, you actually like felt for him in like certain points in times, right? When he like loses Tolindis, when he goes down into despair, when he sees Tolindis on his like hit list, when he struggles with like the voices in his mind. There are definitely parts of that I think make him feel a lot more human, and in some ways like teach us a bit more about like how humans can really just be both good and bad, and it's just really up to us to like choose one or the other. Bro had a rage baiter. What do you mean by rage baiter? I think there's definitely like a big difference between like liking a character because they're good and they align with your values versus liking a character because that character is like well written, regardless of whether they align with your values. And I think Rero is that kind of character. Like, I actually like his character a lot, not because like I agree with him or like his values align, but more so because he's like a super well written villain arc. I can't say the same about Alice, honestly. Like Alice so far has been pretty one dimensional, I wanna say. Just from like a character personality standpoint. Right. I don't really see like multiple facets of her too much. And the same can be said for the Doctor. Like the Dottore also I only see like a one track Dottore, like the evil, menacing mad scientist. But he never really like breaks from that facade. Even like early on in his life, he was already sort of like that, with like trying to leave his like friend behind and all that kind of stuff. So the Tory is kind of unredeemable at this point. I think people can justifiably hate him for both being evil but also not being a very well written villain. Question. What is the question? Who's the 10th Harbinger? Was there still a missing one? Currently unknown. We'll probably meet them in Snezhnaya. Although it is technically possible that there's a missing seed, since Scaramouche is vacant. So, my guess is that we'll meet him in the station. And before it's Piero. I think Piero's confirmed that he's just like the director, right? So he doesn't have a rank. But that would be funny. You know, if anything, I would expect Child to know. I would expect Child to know the 10th. Because he's like closest in rank to the 10th. So I don't know. I think we'll definitely get all of them by Snezhnaya though. It would be a bit weird though for them to explain why the 10th isn't around. You know, from the with the Winter Lazarus Night trailer. They would probably have to do a bit of explaining for like the 10th if they ever show up. Like maybe they're, they've been away for some time and exploring the abyss or something. I don't know. They would have to do a lot of explanation, I think, because they haven't even teased them yet. Yara is 6 and his is empty. Yeah, exactly. It's possible the 10th is just empty. And then they would save them having to like. It would save them having to explain like why you haven't seen the 10th in a while. But let's think about it though. Like, we've basically visited all the nations, right? So, send drone. Capitano was set for the Pyronosis. Arlecchino for the Hydro. Dottore for the Dendro. Denora for Electro. But Scaramouche is there too. But we'll ignore him for now. Ignora also for Enemo. Right. So the rest of the Harbiners just slacking, like or Tartaglia for the Geo as well, but actually it was kind of Signora, I don't know. Anyway, the rest of the Harbiners, like Pulcinella, Pantalone, the 10th, they just be slacking, like they're not even like they're just chilling in base, you know. They didn't even go out and get like any of the Gnosises. So my guess is that they're just all really busy working on the Project Stusha thing. I didn't even know they had symbols on them. Or there's 11 hybriders and 6 Gnosis, so can't expect everyone to contribute equally. Yeah, I guess that's true. But Signora really busted her ass. Not her. Like, really really did a ton. Like Signora got the Anemo one, basically secured the Geo one, and then died trying to retrieve the Electro one. So Signora was actually the MVP, guys. Like she got the most. It sounds like she got the most. I would say she was kind of the MVP, guys. You gotta give her credit for that. Rosaline Kruska Loe Palta. Oh my dear Rosaline, if only you were playable. Oh 07 indeed. And apparently, like the old Knave, right, Kusabina, right, the one that Arlecchino destroyed, was also a Harbinger, right? Was the previous Knave, so. Although I also want to say, like, Genshin doesn't do things without a good reason, so I feel like they have a good plan for the 10th. Like, they don't do these things lightly. Like, if they wanted to just fill the slot, they would fill it with something. I think they want to tell a special story about the 10th that we probably will only see in Snezhnaya. My guess is that it's gonna be something special, like how Columbina was kind of special. The dove. And now that basically Sandro and Arlecchino are on our side now, like that's like, you know, it's gonna be hard for me to imagine the story where we're fighting the Fatui Harbingers in Snezhnaya anymore. I feel like the Torre is probably the last one that we would want to like fight, I guess. But that will be done in Not Cry. So like the rest of the characters, like once we take out Capitano, who's kind of just sitting there, it's just Piero and who's like the next biggest one, and I really doubt we'll be fighting Piero. Like, it would be hard. It would be difficult for me to think of a story where like we go to Snezhnaya and instead of like helping Snezhnaya, we destroy Snezhnaya. You know, like, like I just feel like that's not gonna happen. Like everywhere we kind of help the folks there. So if anything, like by the time we get to Snezhnaya, we're basically allied with the Fatui. And the only way for them to do that is to have a really strong interlude chapter in Not Cry that explains why the Tsaritsa's interests somehow align with the Travelers. Um, and there's a good chance of that actually happening. So like we might actually like either meet the Tsaritsa or at least like someone really close to the Tsaritsa like Piero or something, and then be convinced or invited to come to Snezhnaya to like help with Project Stusa or whatever they're trying to do. So like it wouldn't make sense for me like we fight the Tsaritsa and somehow convert her or something. Like that doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense for us to like somehow work together for to achieve like a common goal. And I know they might reveal a bigger threat by the end of Not Cry than what we know. Some lore guys say Alice is the Teba's border, which is why how many people haven't done anything to her even though she disses them openly. Wait, Alice maintains Teba's borders or Alice is the border? Alice being the border is pretty makes sense. Some part of me that feels like getting a bit too excited about is the border. I mean, there's some truth to that. I mean, I wouldn't go all the way to say that she is the border, but it's definitely possible she's using a part of herself to sustain it in the way that basically makes her the border.
But I don't know how mage magic works in that regard. Alright, we are back. We are back. So let me get this back up here. Actually, let me switch the audio. Honestly, there's nothing much to do in Genshin right now, right? It's just it's really just waiting for patch to drop right now. In the couple of dead weeks of the patch. Achievements? What achievements? Oh wait. Yeah, I guess there was the I guess we could try that one, although it would be pretty hard. I have to like not get hit by lightning or something. Let me just check. I don't remember exactly what. So we were able to beat Raskolnikov, but we didn't get the last achievement, I think. Lynette Hangout. Oh wait, yes, Lynette Hangout. Oh my gosh, how can I forget? I think that's more important. But first of all, let's get Dabbit. Let's get Dabbit in here. Lynette Hangout is gonna take a long time though, so we'll probably only finish like part of it today, and maybe we'll continue it tomorrow. I feel like these hangouts take a while, like at least 2 hours ish. I want to say. Anyway, let's get Dabbit. Alright, Dabbit. Is Dabbit finally gonna give us a quest? Is this quest voiced, by the way, Brushy? The Dabbit quest? When you get the I don't think it's voiced, right? No, I don't think so. Okay, hand the coupon over. Here are your returns for the spirit. Keep it close now. Alright, did we get a quest? What's the quest, Brushy? I'm gonna skip the whole thing. Where's the quest? I thought the quest is supposed to pop up. Huh? Brushy, you didn't lie, did you? Do I? Oh, does it still? Do I still need to wait 1 more week after I submitted all of them? I know I did it in that episode, it was different. Oh, I need to open them. Is that right? I need to open them. Oh, if you check your profit loss ratios, don't worry, there's no rush. Do I need to open them? Wait, let me check. Available after completing a small venture. Use never. Nope. Can't do that. Use Yahoda. Nope. Can't do that. Use 9 investment returns. I already did this though. Huh? Maybe I need to... approach... Maybe I just have to wait a day or something. I don't know. The quest only popped up if you use Cure Term's elemental skill on them. No, there's supposed to be this another quest that appears after I use 9 of the investment returns. But maybe I just need to refresh or something, I don't know. Also, welcome in, Jackson. There's supposed to be one where, like, even if you don't have the characters, it should still pop up if you've done all the of the investment returns, but I don't know why it's not showing up. Might just be a reset thing. Maybe like tomorrow it'll show up and I can like actually go. Let's pay a visit to Curatorium anyway. The Curatorium sometimes has interesting interactions here. Hey, Nefer is here. Welcome to Curatorium. 珍しいね. Please direct your request to Yahoda. I already have required review. Once the client receives it, I'll pay off the rest. Kinichi? Very nice. Yaronsky. That's really hard to say. Yahoda, get out. Head Fika. Wow, Leo fishing gear sure lives up to his reputation. Where's the not quite fishing gear, guys? I saw there's an achievement related to it, and they wouldn't character lock an achievement unless they are free. Yeah, there's supposed to be an achievement called the End of Innocence, but it says if we probably have to wait a day or something. So I've already used up all my investment coupons, I think, so I don't have any more. Wait, what is this? Okay, anyway, I was gonna go and see if we can do the Lynette hangout, so let's go ahead and do that. Lynette, this will be a more fun one, hopefully, better than the, whatever nonsense hangout Gaia's one was. That was kind of a lame hangout. Okay, so we did all the endings on Gaia's story quest. So let's start Lynette's one. Man hater. Lamau. It's not that I hate Gaia. Gaia was actually nice, but the story itself was just dumb. Like, huh? Like, it just felt very pointless. It would be nicer to explore his backstory, and we basically got some backstory of him living in Diluc, which we kind of already knew, and a little bit about what he was like as a kid. But I mean, I want to know what he was like, his roots, like his Kandrian roots. Lynette with a kitty. Wow, 2 cats. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Approach stealthily. What are you up to? I'm gonna just say, what are you up to?
あなただったの。ちょっと待って。会話モードに切り替えるから。
会話モード。
さっきは本当にびっくりした。私を捕まえに来た人だと思ったから。
Someone kidnapping you?
客観的に言えば、今回は私の方がトラブルメーカーかも。
トラブルメーカー。
30分前までホテルドゥボールで劇の初演の成功を祝うパーティーに参加してたの。でもそこにいるとエネルギーの消費があまりに早いから隙を見て抜け出してここで待機モードになってた。
待機モード。
私がその劇の主演だから。
確かに劇の主演。
そんなに意外？よく単独出演のオファーが届くんだけど前はお兄ちゃんに断ってもらってたの。でもこの間のフォンティナリア AA 祭で
Oh, Fontinalia Film Festival. I guess this was released back then. This is just like 2 years ago.
うちの弟や妹たちを連れて公園に行ったら見終わった後みんな私がヒロインを演じるところを見たいって騒ぎ出してお兄ちゃんまで一緒になって林立てるからたまたまその時メリエ監督からオファーが届いてて間の事情は省略するけどとにかく最終的に引き受けたの。問題ない。私が演じたのは人形だから。それに迷子の人形は表情を作る必要もセリフもなくて流れに合わせた動作をするだけでいい仮面パントマイムなの。監督が言うにはこれは前衛芸術なんだって。
前衛術。I don't know how, but I never noticed the massive bow tie behind it. It is pretty massive. That is true.
芸術を理解してもらう必要はない。感じてもらえればいい。これも監督が言ってたこと。少なくとも初演の状況を見る限り反応は悪くない。
悪くないな。
パーティーではみんなが私を囲んで役を完璧に再現していた。作品の魂を理解していた。これこそ前衛芸術だなんて言ってた。
前衛芸術。Don't lie to me. I know you just noticed it too. No, I've always known that the bow tie was there.
でも視線の中心にいるとエネルギーの消耗が激しくて、みんなが監督を囲んでる隙に飛び出してきたの。
I actually use Lynette in my teens, Brushy, unlike... I don't know if you actually use Lynette. I'm not sure how popular Lynette is actually in like most scenes, but Lynette was a very very well used character in my Fontaine national team. Like I always use her in national. Once you weren't able to use Lineage. You don't. That makes sense.
ちょっとしたことがあって。
Yeah, she was a big staple of my team in Fontaine.
喋ってばかりでほったらかしにしてた。ごめんね、バーニー。
バーニー。
抜け出した後にたまたま出会っただけ。じゃないとおしゃべりしづらいでしょ。それにこの子もこの名前が気に入ったみたいだから。ね、バーニー。
I like how she's called Barney in the Japanese, but Bonnie in the Japanese. But Bonnie in the English. It's Barney. More like Barney the dinosaur. Barney.
いい子いい子。後で飼い主のところに連れてってあげるね。首飾りがついてるし、体もほとんど汚れてないから。
Barney.
少なくとも長いこと外をさまよってた野良猫じゃない。それにお腹がグーグー鳴ってる。多分ここ数日で迷子になったんだと思う。もう少し一緒にいたいけど、飼い主も心配してるだろうから。もし飼い主がいるなら届けてあげないと。でもパーティーを抜け出してだいぶ経ってるし、戻って挨拶してから行くべきかな。どっちを優先したら。お兄ちゃんみたいに何事も後のことを考えようとすると消耗が激しすぎる。大事なことじゃなければ普段はお兄ちゃんが決めてくれるから。
Why would you assume that cat with a bow tie is straight?
大丈夫。こういう状況に備えてお兄ちゃんがフレミネに頼んでこれを作ってもらったから。じゃじゃーん。運命指示器。
Oh no, the fatal meter again. We're gonna draw a card.
仰々しく見えるけど機能的にはただのカードケース。構造が複雑すぎるとうっかり壊しちゃうから。だからその動作原理はシンプル。カードを適当に1枚引いて出た数字を見るだけ。例えば出た数字が5以上だったらバーニーの飼い主を探しに行く。そうじゃなかったらパーティーに戻る。自分とカードの絆を信じていれば数字が運命を示してくれるってお兄ちゃんは言ってた。とにかくお手本を見せるね。
Wait, will this always be the same card, or is this actually a branch I can branch from? By that logic, Linetto is a string. Yeah, the fatal meter. Isn't this how you get to gadget?
バラバラになっちゃった。
There's a gadget?
ここから引くんじゃないの？じゃあこっちから。
Lynette smacks the card, but as the cards fall, the other she picks one up at random.
これの使いやすさにはまだまだ改善の余地がありそう。後でフレミネに伝えておかないと。拾ったカードは 4。さっきはカードが地面に落ちたから運命の選択とは言えない。
I think God was fate.
運命の選択を尊重しなければ運命は正しい結果を示せないともお兄ちゃんは言ってた。
Well, that answers my question if you have to ask if there's a gadget. I don't know if there's there a gadget.
別の角度から考えると地面から拾い上げたカードは運命を尊重してるとは言えない。つまり正しい結果じゃないってこと。
I think what Lily really meant is sometimes you have to accept the answer you didn't want.
それともあなたも一枚引く？ここで出会ったことで私たちの運命がその干渉を受けてしまったから。
Well, you wouldn't know about it since you haven't done this quest. Definitely have
あ
not.
りがとう。今度は絶対従うから。はい、指示器を持って。もし5以上の数字を引けば私の運命を変えることに成功。その逆は失敗。それから何かアドバイスがあればカードを引かずに言ってくれてもいい。自分で考えを決められる人がいるのに何でもかんでも運命に委ねる必要はないもの。
Fate taught me that I'm not sure. Let's use the one to fate. I think you should go back to. Oh, so you can like leave it up to luck to see if you want to like use the fatetometer to branch out, or you can like just choose. How about you do neither? Are there like so many paths to this one? Let's just use fatetometer. This is quite fun.
じゃああなたの運命が私をどこに連れて行くのか見てみましょう。
Ooh, I like this. This must have been happened after like the D&D quest with check objective is 5. 5! Check success. We got it.
バーニーの飼い主を探しに行くの？
I have to ask about this deck
カ
of
ードは
cards.
1から20までの合計20枚。5未満を引く確率は5分の1。
It's only 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5. I was almost there
ちなみ
actually.
に最初のボーダーラインを決めるのは私の気分次第。
Oh, you really don't want to go back to the reception
前
party.
は1を引いたから出演を承諾しちゃったの。運命は意地悪をすることもあるのね。
Meow.
うん。スチームバード新聞社に行って迷子猫の案内を出すつもり。一緒に来る？バーニーはあなたと別れたくないみたい。
Bonnie, meow. Oh, I got a fatetometer. You're right. We do get a gadget. What does this do? Nine. What is this? What number is this? Is that 16? Oh no, it's just 0, right? So 0, 6. Is that 6? Is that 1? That's a 16. Alright. That's pretty fun. We can actually play D&D now. In Genshin. Someone's probably making D&D in Midi Astra, guys. 100%. We're gonna get Baldur's Gate in like... in Genshin. Mario is struggling. Wait, struggling as in like my card drawing? I wanted to ask about the latest Tales of Humanity column.
いいえ、なかったと思うけど、子猫を拾ったのかしら。
Timing that ledge, I didn't even notice. I was just like autopiloting.
依頼がないなら逆に尋ね人の案内を出してもいいですか？
もちろん。立派な心がけね。こちらから申し込めるわよ。
Got fill out forms in Fontaine. Fontaine is the nation of forms. I remember now. Just filling out forms all
申
day.
し込み完了。飼い主が探しに来てくれるまでひとまずうちにおいで。それからありがとう。長いこと付き合ってくれて。私はひとまずパーティーに顔を出しに戻る。だいぶ時間が経ったからほとんどみんな帰ってるといいけど、明日もし暇ならバーニーに会いにうちに来ない？いいお茶を入れるから。
Alright.
うん待ってるね。
Isn't Lynette's place just the orphanage? It's just the orphanage, isn't it? Remember that quest about finding the office worker at his typewriter key? Yeah, I remember that one, the work quest. That's all I remember. Yeah, it was just about him complaining about having to submit a lot of forms. So Fontaine's a nation of forms. I had to submit a form to like get a key, but he needs to swap it out for another key and he needs to get it approved, and like it's just a mess. Basically, it's like the tale of bureaucracy. It was pretty funny though. I kind of liked that work quest. Was it a world quest? I don't even remember, but it was an interesting quest. Oh, the new key has malware? Sus. Malware in a typewriter? That sounds sus. Are people fighting over a cat now?
ひとまず落ち着いて。
Oh no. Not like this.
あ、いらっしゃい。ごめんなさい。この状況ではちょっとお茶が入れられない。
これは私の友達の猫なの。彼は用事があって手が離せないから、私がわざわざ引き取りに来たのよ。
That doesn't count, girl. The real owner has to be here. It doesn't count. Can't prove. Passive checks or type checks that need to be. Oh wait, this whole thing is like a nice like a D&D thing. That's so cool. Oh, I love this hangout now. What the heck? Oh, that's so cool. So you can get like different endings or like different dialogue based on like what you draw. You'll be glad to hear that my 1-year hider to Yakuza has finally ended. I started 4 last week and finished it. Now I'm on 5. Nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Yakuza games. How did you like 4? Inside check success. This experience is a bit unnatural. She's deliberately using her tone of voice to dispel doubts. They're both hiding something.
私がこの子につけた仮の名前。
I think beat 0, but honestly it was beat for the first 30%, then the rest would be okay. So it just took a while to get into like the good parts. Which one is Like a Dragon? Is Like a Dragon 4 or 5? Was that the one that I was watching for some folks playing for a while? Like a Dragon is 7? Oh! Okay, so 4 and 5 are like even older than that. Dang. Was I 5 and 6? Ah, okay. Oh, looks like there's already Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Wow. Okay, that's the newest one. If you see Kiwami in the title, then it's a remake. Those are really good. Kiwami? Yakuza Kiwami? Oh, okay, okay. It's a remake of the Yakuza series. Gotcha. So same story, but like upgraded graphics and visuals. And probably some gameplay as well. Then we get Kiwami 3, pretty stoked about that one. Nice. So I'm guessing that's a remake of Yakuza 3. It's just kind of like how how like in Pokemon they have like red, blue, and green, and then like you have fire red, leaf green, and what is the blue one? Crystal blue? Pokemon fire red. Oh, I guess it wasn't the blue, it's just fire red and green and leaf green. Oh, it was red, blue, and yellow, that's what it was. Oh, red, green, and yellow. Was there Pokemon blue? Am I misremembering? Maybe there isn't a Pokemon blue. Oh, there is. There's red, blue, and yellow. Although they were first released in Japan as red and green, followed by special edition blue. They definitely didn't know what they were doing. I just skipped a lot of side content because I thought the game would feel really dated if it hasn't had the Kiwami treatment yet. Ah, okay, okay. How old is the Yakuza series? Let me see. Yakuza started in 2005. Okay, so technically, still within the millennia. Yeah, definitely heard good things about the story of this one, but also like a lot of interesting side quest content. Meow. Animal handling check. Let's see. 8. Check success. What does that mean? Runs up to me. Yay, let's go. Seems she quite likes me.
ねえ、さっきも言ったでしょ。その子は私の友達の猫だから、私に懐いてないのは当たり前で。
Main story is super convoluted and serious. Side story is just goofy as hell. That sounds fun though.
その俺は一応社長でな。我が社にはたくさんの野良猫や野良犬がいるんだ。だから餌やりなんて仕事をいつも自分でやるわけにもいかなくて。
Are you sure she belongs to you?
それは少し覚えがあったから確認しようと思って来たんだ。
Ah, so this guy doesn't actually own it.
もしそうだったら連れて帰るし、もし違って他に引き取り手がいなければ、我が愛心者で世話をしてもいい。なあ、我々は野良動物を専門に保護している組織で、
This is the
もう
SPCA.
何十年もの歴史を持ってる。俺が現社長のベノアだ。
Benoa.
配信者リオンエリアでの評判はいいって聞いたことがある気がする。
そうそう、それが我々だ。もしよければ、まずその猫をよく見せてくれないか。
This guy seems sus though. Can we trust him? We really trust this guy?
もし本当に俺の記憶違いだったら忘れてくれ。その時はこの女性の猫ってことでいい。
What if I want it though?
私の友達の猫だってば。
バーニー、おいで。
Meow.
ふんふん。違うようだな。毛色にごくわずかな違いがある。ただ似ているだけだったみたいだ。申し訳ない。 俺の勘違いだ。行方不明になった猫を探しに行かんと。では皆さん、今度またきちんと謝罪に来るので。
えええ、そうよ。
You liar.
待って、あなたさっきも本当の話をしなかったでしょ。
本当の話？何を言っているのかわからないんだけど。
目つき、息遣い、仕草。人は嘘をつくとき、自分で思ってるよりもたくさんのボロが出る。
ボロって何？そんな根拠のない言いがかりで決めつけようっていうの？
その場で見破られても息は少しも乱れてない。むしろ少し余裕があるくらい。やっぱりその苛立ったふりはわざと。悪人なら今はなるべく早くここを去りたいはず。善人なら大方警察隊ってとこかな。
何か証拠でも？
単なる直感。
족간?
直感。さすがリネットね。その通り。私は警察隊の一員でエロルディ。目下とある密輸事件を追跡しているの。そしてこの猫、バーニーの飼い主は私たちが目をつけてる重要容疑者でね。先
何?
日どこからか情報を聞きつけたらしくて、法の裁きを恐れて行方をくらましてしまったの。おそらくこの猫もその時にはぐれてしまったのね。
Does that mean we gotta keep the cat because he's a suspect?
たまたま新聞で尋ね人欄を見て、自分の猫のために姿を現すんじゃないかと思ったけど、見たところ彼を買いかぶりすぎていたようだわ。この事件の影響は大きくて、マレショーセファントムだけじゃなく警察隊や特巡隊も調査に乗り出てるわ。だからどんな小さなチャンスだろうと見逃すわけにはいかない。新型の違法薬物
Not
偽
again.
造ロシオ。
Izoroshi again. Not Roshi again. Not this drugs.
これまで市場に出回っていたロシは全て回収したわ。でも人の心の空洞は1日や2日で埋められるものじゃない。
Bro, this is like so real. This is like literally like fan.
犯人はおそらくこの心の隙を狙って偽造ロシを開発し、小規模な売買を行っていた。でも私たちは類似の事件が再び起こるのを厳重に警戒していたの。だから彼は気づかれる前に販路を外国に移し、偽造ロシの密輸を始めた。私たちも最近外国から偽造ロシの情報を得て追跡して初期の取引時の手がかりを見つけたわ。けど時間が経ちすぎていてあまり重要な手がかりにはならなかった。そしてマレショーセファントムは相応の制約能力を持つあらゆる人を調査した。バーニーの飼い主を見つけたのもその時だったの。フォンテーヌ科学院の研究員よ。名前はピエール、あるいはピエール・ルフェーブルと呼んだ方がいいかしら。
Pierre Lefebvre.
ルフェ
Lefebvre. The next expression seems a bit unnatural. Slight look of dread crossing his face.
マレショーセファントムの者がポワソン町で彼に会った時、そばにいた猫の他にあるペンダントを見かけたわ。
Poissoncho. It is a pendant with a snake on it and a sword and a number 2, which I think is just the just means second evidence. And there's a ruler there that shows how long it is, I guess.
当時彼の容疑はそれほど濃くなく、住まいにも不審な形跡は見つからなかったから、マレショーセファントムも多くは尋ねなかったの。でも後になってからそのペンダントの紋章がルフェーブルという 悪名高い貴族の家系のものだと気づいた。
ルフェーブル。
ピエールにさらに話を聞こうとしたとき、すでに彼は処罰を恐れて行方をくらましていたわ。目下、警察隊と特巡隊が彼の行方を捜査しているところよ。
Would his family be hiding him?
ありえない。ルフェーブル家はとうに消滅してるから。
Oh, that's...
ええ、もう随分と前に一族の当主と主要人物が謎の死角に暗殺され、勢力が一気に衰えたの。
Interesting.
あそこの一族は普段から悪事を働いていたこともあり、残りのメンバーもすぐに各勢力から報復を受けたわ。病気や飢えで死んでいなければ、その名を隠して暮らしている。このピエールってやつはそのうちの一人で、生徒身分を偽ってフォンテーヌ科学院に閉じこもっていたんだけど、今になって馬脚を表したってわけ。よく同僚から聞いてるわ。あなたたちは勇敢で思慮深く、正義感が強いって。この話をしたのもバーニーに近づこうとするかもしれないピエールやその仲間らしき人物に気をつけてほしいからよ。
Oh, I also started playing Where Winds Meet. Oh, that game! I heard I've heard a lot of good things about that game. I've been thinking of starting it too, but just haven't found the time. How do you like it? You should. I just started too. Nice, nice.
バーニーを警察隊に連れて行ってしまったら、いくらピエールがずぶとくても近づこうとしないでしょ。
It's not like the gacha game, right? There's no like dailies that you have to do. It's just the kind of game you can just play on your own. Just making sure. I have about 6 hours in, but most of it was character customization screen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That might be me for a while. Gacha is only outfits as far as I know. Okay, okay.
ピエールが顔を出すかどうかはあまり期待してないけど、どんな小さなチャンスも逃すわけにいかないから。じゃ、私は別のところに捜査に行かないと。もしピエールが本当に現れたら、できるだけ早く私たちに連絡をちょうだい。
I think it's free to play, right? I can probably just like start downloading it and then have it in the bag for later. You see here where winds meet. Hopefully I have space in my hard drive to do this. Check space in hard drive. Not a lot of space, but should have enough. Let's see, add to library. Somebody co-op works well through its story exploration, you get rewards for it. There's co-op? I didn't even know this game had co-op. I thought it was just a single player game. Space required 117 GB. That's fine. Probably have to make more space. Just a second. Oh lol, I told Lucky the wrong thing. I told him like Soul Blazer was like under an hour. But I didn't realize that there was like 2 hours to this one, so it's actually 3 hours. Never mind. I scammed him. I accidentally scammed him. Okay. Maybe it's equal, I don't know. As for dailies, I don't know. I was told you can just do weeklies and that's enough. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm just gonna try it and see how it goes, but it'll take a while to download. Especially when I'm streaming. What's wrong?
ありがとう。大丈夫。ルフェーブルの最後の当主は以前私を飼いならそうとした大物でね。
Oh no, you got kidnapped.
昔あるパーティーの後に人に騙されてルフェーブルの馬車に乗せられ邸宅に連れて行かれたことがあったの。
Man, that makes me mad.
でも彼らの思い通りになる前にお父様に出会った。
Then the assassin Elodie mentioned.
お父様がルフェーブルに制裁を加えたの。その後私とお兄ちゃんはハウス・オブ・ハースに入った。こんなに何年も経ってまたルフェーブルの名を聞くなんて思いもしなかった。心配しないで。別に辛いわけじゃなくてお兄ちゃんのことを考えてただけだから。ここ数日いつも私を避けていてこそこそと何かを調べたり急に私が劇に出演するのを後押ししたりいつもと違う。今思えば1を引いたのもお兄ちゃんがフレミネと計画してやったことかもしれない。私に何か隠すためにあれこれトリックを使ったのかも。その可能性はある。わざわざ私を遠ざけるのはきっと私の記憶を呼び起こしたくないから。心配しすぎだと思うけど。もう何年も経ってるのにやっぱり相変わらず過保護なんだから。もし途中であったら一緒に説教してくれない？これから操作モードに切り替えるつもり。ピエールのことを調べにフォンテーヌ科学院に行ったら途中でお兄ちゃんにばったり会うかもしれない。それも少しはあるかも。でも一番は違和感があるから。ピエールの情報を聞いて何かおかしい気がしたの。ただそれも少しはあるかも。でも一番は違和感があるから。ピエールの情報を聞いて何かおかしい気がしたの。ただうまく言葉にできないけど。劇団の方には手紙で説明しておくから準備ができたら一緒に出発しよう。
Feels nice to be back in Fontaine actually, for even if it's for just a little bit.
行こう。次の目的地へ。
What is over here? Aha, it is Lynette with Chevreuse and all this.
リネット、どうしてここに？稽古に行ったんじゃなかったのかい？
もうお芝居はいいよ。私もお兄ちゃんもね。小さい頃から分かってるでしょ。どんなことも私にはそう長く隠しておけないって。
やれやれ。だから仮面パントマイムで気をそらそうとしたのに、やっぱりダメだったか。
やっぱりダメだったか。
それより先にお兄ちゃんの新しい助手を紹介してくれない？
こちらはシブルーズさん、特巡隊の隊長だ。前にも会ったことがあるかもしれないけど。
その後変わりはないか？
Oh, yo, when I'm gonna get my free Chevreuse? Please, give me Chevreuse. I love her. Please.
一つ訂正しておくと、助手に招かれたのは私ではなくリネさんの方だ。以前リネさんを顧問に招いてマジックのような犯罪トリックを解明してもらったことがあってな。今回も知恵を拝借したいと思ったんだ。
二人とも知っていたのかい？
いかにもそのためだ。ルフェーブルの没落については諸説ある。ハウス・オブ・ハースを疑っていた人もいた。だが手を下した人は慎重で少しも証拠を残していない。しかしそれでかえって私は確信した。あの執行官がやったのだと。あの晩の馬車の出入り記録と合わせれば、お前たちとルフェーブルの因縁を推測するのは難しいことではない。ああ、いや、安心してくれ。何の証拠もないし、あのゲビタ一族の弁護をするつもりもない。ましてや当時お前たちは被害者だったようだからな。リネさんを訪ねたのは今回の密輸事件を調べるためだけだ。これはリネとシュブルーズの協力に過ぎない。真相を一刻も早く明らかにすることこそ特巡隊の正義だ。もちろん。むしろ私は最初からリネットにも声をかけるつもりだったのだ。ただ現在の助手が難色を示していてな。お兄ちゃん、私はもうあの頃の私じゃないから。以前は隅っこで震えてるだけだった女の子はもう人の助けを待ってるだけじゃなくなったの。
すまなかったリネット。君たちの言う通りだ。僕の心配が行き過ぎていた。
どん。
うん。それと今度私の注意をそらすなら別の方法にして。
その子は新しく拾ってきた猫かい？
Literally picking up strays.
うん。名前はバーニーっていうの。話すと長くなるから後で説明するね。もう問題はなさそうだな。ではリネット、旅人、しばらく手を煩わせることになるがよろしく頼む。
僕の知る限りルフェーブル家の紋章を使用するには厳格な決まりがあったはずだ。地位や血縁関係によって家族ごとに使用できる模様に違いがある。ペンダントに書かれていた模様は非着出子を意味している。
今のところ
その可能性が高い。おそらくその身分のために彼は没落時の打撃を免れ、フォンテーヌ科学院で名を隠して潜んでいられたのだ。
でもついさっき面白い話を彼の同僚に聞いてね。彼は名義上ここの一員だけど、すでに除名されたに近いとのことだ。
ピエールはかつてロシに溺れていたらしい。しかもフォンテーヌ科学院の実験材料を使って薬性の似た物質を模造しようとしていたという。彼はただ研究のためだと弁明したが、やはりこのために自宅謹慎を命じられ、関連材料に近づくことも禁じられた。そして次の処分を待っていたそうだ。だが残念ながらフォンテーヌ科学院は最近まで数多くのトラブルに見舞われ、自分たちのことで手一杯だった。結果ピエールの正式な処分と上への関連報告はしばらく棚上げにされていた。彼の家柄については今の研究院内では誰も知らないようだ。彼は人付き合いが悪く、ずっと一人で行動していたらしい。例のペンダント以外にピエールはポワ村長の住まいに疑わしい点を何も残していない。我々は偽造ロ種のサンプルを分析したことがあるが、調合するにも保管するにも明確な痕跡が残る。普通の人なら気づかないだろうが、絶対にガードドッグの鼻からは逃れられない。だがピエールの住まいは非常に綺麗だったと言っていい。加えて彼は外国に手紙や荷物を送った記録が何もなかった。そのためマレシオセ・ファントムも当初は彼を重点的に疑ってはいなかった。
もしかしたら彼には偽造ロシの調合のために使っているもう一つの拠点があるのかも。
ああ、ピエールの家の近隣住民が証言するに、彼は出かけると長いこと帰ってこなかったそうだ。だが住民は彼が街をぶらついてるのをあまり見たことがないと口を揃えて言う。目撃情報を減らすために単独行動をしてるのなら、どこかの隠し拠点に向かったというのは合理的な推理だ。
だが彼が行方をくらませてから警察隊はもう長いことポワ村長周辺を捜索してるというのに、不審な場所は見つかっていない。
ポワ村長からホテルドゥボールまでは海で隔てられてる。猫が一匹で迷って来られるような場所じゃない。
猫というのは？
バーニーはもともとピエールの猫なの。
そういえばマレシオセ・ファントムが最初に彼に会った時、確かに猫を一匹飼っていたと報告していたが、それがこの猫なのか？
彼の行動パターンを聞いていると、あちこち転々としているようには思えない。バーニーがポワ村長で迷子になったのでなければ。
うん、バーニーはその拠点がどこにあるか知ってるかも。
ちょっと待て、猫に道案内してもらうつもりか？しかしこの猫は訓練されたガードドッグではないぞ。こちらの意図をどう伝えるんだ？
Yeah, it lets you change combat difficulty and exploration. It shows chests and stuff much more easily. Oh wait, so there's a lot of exploration in the game too. Interesting. Yeah, I will have to. I will have to pick it up. It's downloading now to see how far we're in. It's at 8%. We'll get there eventually. Animal handling. 12? Wait, did my game crash? Wait. Did Genshin just crash? Wait, what? Oh no, I'm disconnected for some reason. Oh, it might be because I'm downloading. Uh-oh.
Maybe I shouldn't download this game while I'm streaming. Hey, let me pause this. We'll download off stream.
リネット、どうしてここに稽古に行ったんじゃなかったのかい？
もうお芝居はいいよ。
Oh wait, we're all the way back here. Wait, let's skip.
小さい頃
Where did we go?
こちらはシブルーズさん、特巡隊の隊長だ。前にも会ったこと。
その後代わりはな一つ訂正
Let's
してお
skip.
くと
I disconnected right as we drew the card. 10! No, I failed. No, fail. But how did the rest of Tibet not get flooded during Fontaine arc? Like the water was as high as the opera. Apparently people were saying that like the water sort of like bubbled like a fountain. So it was high like this, but it was sort of like a dome like that. So it covered Fontaine like a dome, but it was sort of flowing out, which is how it sort of like it never flooded the rest of the Tibet. It just like overflowed with like a little bit dome over to Fontaine for a little bit because it was like rushing out from as if like a water rushing out from a fountain from below, right? And then afterwards it just like quickly went down because all the water flowed out. But also like I don't know if that would have been enough water to like cause some minor flooding in some areas of Tibet, but that's so stupid. The water came from below, so why would it form a bubble to prevent it over flooding? It's not that it formed a bubble; it's that it's like a fountain. Like if you think of it, the water comes from below, there is a brief moment where the water in the middle looks a lot higher than the water on the sides, right? Because the water came from below, but it only came from like the center of Fontaine from below, not from like all of Fontaine, right? Like it like came like basically around the area where the opera house was. And so like there was like there was this Reddit post explaining about how like there was a it's it's basically possible for it to be like high temporarily for a brief moment, which it was kind of brief for a couple of minutes, right? It wasn't brief long, it was long enough to all fall down. It was brief. It was brief in the sense like it lasted a cutscene, right? Like in the cutscene was a couple of minutes. Like it wasn't like an hour long flood or anything, right? Like the cutscene didn't last for very long. Like I would say like maximum it was like 5 minutes. And like from the scale of like Fontaine, you know, when you think about like Fontaine, it's like the scale of it, like that's considered like brief enough. Because a typical flood lasts like a much longer time, right? Like a huge amount of time. Like it probably doesn't like even when you have regular floods, like it probably takes a couple of hours for it to come down. You would have to have stupidly high pressure to maintain a fountain structure. No. Well, it did rise pretty fast, so there would have been quite a strong amount of like flooding, and like I think it was like at the wasn't it at the there was a scene with like Rio and like Cloren like trying to keep the water at bay, right? Right? Like there was a scene where and it did come through pretty fast, so there's quite a lot of pressure. All that water volume has to go somewhere, yeah. The only thing is that it has to go somewhere, but like so I would have expected some minor flooding in other parts of Tibet. Maybe there was, we just didn't see it, right? Maybe there was some minor flooding in other parts of Tibet, we just didn't see it. And it would probably have been spread out like a ton of water. Right? So like the other thing is that at the end of that scene, so if you recall at the end of the scene, Lynette himself actually like does his little thing and like blesses the people of cures the people of Fontaine, like finally controls his power. So like Nouvelette suddenly now has control over the water, so he could have averted the situation as well. It wouldn't drain from where it came, it overflowed over the waterfalls. Yeah, it would have overflowed, but again, remember at the end of that scene, as the water was flowing down, it would sort of taken, first of all, it would have taken a pretty long time to get to like other parts of Tibet. But also, you know, like it might have done like some minor damage, And by the end of the cutscene, Lynette did technically control the water, so you might have like done something there as well. Um, all to say that like sure, it's a bit of a plot hole, but it's also like not that serious of a plot hole. Like it's not like they absolutely had to explain what was going on in other parts of the vibe. It could be reasonably explained away. The UV angle, maybe you could have pulled all the overflowing water back. Yeah, exactly. And he kind of, in the cutscene, he kind of does stuff with water, right? Like it's reasonable to believe that he like took some of that water and converted it. Like you can make water particles fly up into this air as well, right? So water cycle and stuff. um, on principle of conservation of water. It's funny because that was definitely like a weird thing where like people were like, oh, Fontaine's at the top, right? So why is it not flooding in that way? But if you actually think about how floods work in real life, floods don't happen when water just covers all of the land, right? Like if there was flooding in Texas, doesn't mean like all of the US has to experience some water backlash. There are like just based on like the landforms and like how things work in certain areas, you could have flooding in like specific areas without flooding across the rest of the world. Like just because, you know. So it is reasonable, I think, from that perspective. If you just think about it a little bit, like Fontaine being like really big, and the only place where the water like rolls all the way up was really just the Opera Epicles, I think. That was really the only one that you actually saw it go all the way up. Um, you know, it could be explained the way that like that level wasn't like all of Fontaine. It may have just been that center of Fontaine. The rest of Fontaine might have been much lower of a flood, so it might be more reasonable that there may have been like some minor waves, small tsunamis in certain areas. But I think for the most part, like that north point of Sumeru isn't like too populated. And I think like the Chunyu Vale area also has another waterfall that it could flow down to. That area is also like not super populated. It would have flowed all the way down to like Liyue Harbor, probably at some point. So I don't know. The only other piece, I think maybe some of it would have gone into Natlan. Although again, on those outskirts of the Natlan areas, it's not very populated there either. So I'll leave it to you then. So if I fail, Lynette tries to do it. Meow. Alright. Bodies and understand. She could sail out in the direction of the cliffs and coast.
砂浜、崖の下。だいたいフォンテーヌ邸の北の方。
I'm trying to find the Reddit post. I think they explained it like a little bit better. But like didn't flood but this is the best comment. The top comment that explained it. It happened in a cutscene. The flooding happened in a cutscene, which means the rest of Tibet was not loaded at that time. Cutscenes have their own rules. Lamau. Genshin planet is flat, it's not a sphere, so the water doesn't flow out. That's the fun. Lamau. Someone says Fontaine is actually already flooding. The water stops flowing at Fontaine's borders because screw physics. It's one of those things where it's best not to think about it, Lomao. Wait, I think this guy might have linked the post. What would a lore-accurate Fontaine flood do to the rest of Tibet?
そんなことまで言ってたのか
そのうち慣れるよ。
実は猫も人間も同じで、やりとりの半分以上はボディーランゲージでできる。けど、 ほとんどの人は言葉に頼りすぎてるの。
Not saying all of them is done, but a good chunk. The fluid simulation to prove those bozos wrong.
あまり複雑なことは読み取れないけど、
とにかく手がかりが見つかってよかった。今すぐ条件に合った場所を探しに行こう。
I'm pretty sure the water did flow somewhere though, because in the cutscene, like the water does recede pretty quickly. And all of that definitely had to go somewhere. So, but so that kind of like signals to me that it did sort of flow. But then again, it's also like, if you actually think about it, right? Okay, here's what we actually think about it. So I'm gonna teleport here, and from here you can actually see like how like Fontaine is like water falling, right? Like there's currently water actually falling into this area right now, right? But you don't actually see this water like, you know, bumping up against this area. Like it doesn't like, water is currently already flowing down, like regardless of flood or not, right? And if you think about it, there's no rain. There's no rain happening in Fontaine right now that is causing this water to sort of flow down. So the only explanation is that there's sort of like a water source in Fontaine that is already continuously shooting, you know, this water down into the surrounding areas. But clearly the fountains here are not causing flood damage down here. Look at this, like this is a lot of water pouring down. Flood or not, this is like a lot of water pouring down. And it's not hitting this area, right? Like this area is sort of stable here. It's not, water's not even moving. I think like you get some water down here as well. But this one sort of just goes down into the river and it flows down into this area, which then flows down into the sea. Again, so it just flows all of it, just kind of goes through, right? It's not gonna flood this area. Under the water, yeah, primarily the sea. What we don't see though is that we don't really see this part where the water goes. But then again, there's so much water, like all of this water is linked. You see this? Like the water from here is linked. It's even this water here that goes into the river into Sumeru links all the way down here. All the way through. And then links all the way here. So if there's like proper drainage, like maybe like around here, as long as there's proper drainage around here and here, it is quite possible for a lot of water to have just spilled out on this side and just sort of missed everyone and just flows through like, you know, this channel, maybe goes somewhere into the abyss. You know, like it doesn't technically have to flood like these areas. It really depends obviously on like how much of the water spill out to this area. But knowing that it, you know, basically like flooded mostly around here, I want to say like there's a good chance like a lot of it does get spread out across, you know, all of the sides. We don't see what's here up north, of course, and we know there's a port here. There's also more drainage down here as well that it could have gone to. Yeah, through rivers, all that flooded. Yeah, it should have all flooded this area. It kind of depends, right? Genshin doesn't. I don't know if we can actually tell from this map like which is the lower area, and which is like a higher area. But my guess, just looking at this, is like a lot of it is just going down here on the left. A lot of it is going down this way, right? This is huge. And all throughout here, and the water is still flowing, it's not flooding, so it seems to be in sort of a stable momentum, right? It's not flooding these areas now, right? But I mean, this could be pretty deep, right? It could be pretty deep. But even with this level of like water, which is a lot of water, I want to say, it's not actually like flooding out all of these areas right now. So now the Tevat drainage seems to be working pretty well, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna assume that the water would have made it to half of Liyue before Newry sucked it back. Half of Liyue? That's pretty far. But it's definitely interesting, like, we don't really know how deep the water is, right? Like, it's kind of like the Earth. Like, even for us, like, on Earth, like, a lot of us don't even know, like, how deep the underwater part of, you know, the parts of Teyvat are. Because if they're, like, actually, like, pretty deep, you can actually put, like, a lot of extra water in there without moving up the surface by much, you know? So just depending on how much water is already there and, like, how much space there is to fill. A lot of it could have gone down caves. Yeah, I guess there's a huge cave system like below the ground. Just like knowing how deep the chasm goes, right? Like some of those areas, like even the Nostoi region, right? Like with this one, it goes real deep. Like it's just like super deep. You know, these areas here. Although it would be interesting to know if like the water here like somehow like, you know, goes into like the center of the world and like shows up as like somewhere in the abyss area. Yeah, but now that I think of it, most of Teyvat is just water, really. Like we got like a couple of like most spots here, but a lot of it is just surrounded by tons and tons of water.
行こう。次の目
There's a
的地
channel here as well between Sumeru and Natlan.
– 騎士団のみんなは真面目にやっているのだろうか。行動するのだ。ここにとどまっているわけにはいかない。
Just because we don't know the depth of water doesn't mean adding water won't make it go higher. The problem lies with the shoreline and how far the water stretches to increase its height. Well, if you think about it, the surface area is quite large though. Like, right? Like the surface, even if you just look at the surface area, it is pretty large. Right? And again, like, this is not like all of Fontaine being underwater, it's just like this part of Fontaine. You first have to spread it out across Fontaine, which is... We haven't even seen all of Fontaine yet. Right? And it would probably cause flooding. There actually was flooding, right, in Fontaine in most of these areas here. So you have to account for the flooding that already happens in these areas. The water is already overflowing in a lot of these areas of Fontaine. And then there's still... After that, then you account for like maybe any additional extra overflow that's now spread out over a much larger radius of like the Chenyu Vale. And also the fact that they could also leak right down into this area. So the best explanation is still that Teyvat wasn't loaded when the flood happened, so nothing happened. North side is mountain, we're talking about south. North side is mountain, you're talking about south? But you mean like you don't think there's any like water going this way? Is that what you're saying? Huh? You mean like you don't think there's any water like flooding Liffey region? Is that what you're saying? Not sure if this area is actually higher or lower though. Like the I think if you look at here, there's a good way to tell. So if you look down this way, you look down this way, this area is not any higher than this area. Like the water is the same level. You know what I mean? I don't see why the water couldn't flow up north as well. Could have flown out this way. Ignoring these little, you know, things in the air, but this is the same, looks like the same to me. This is not, the water is not flowing in a specific direction here, it looks like, right? It's not a river. It just kind of is a pool. But I say like if it was like flooding here, it would have flowed down this way. Down this way, across the Liffey region. Oh, this is the Natland one. Okay. The water doesn't have a mind of its own. It flows down. It wouldn't flow up and over a mountain. It wouldn't flow over the mountain, but it would flow around it, right? Like as long as there's water around the mountain, we can flow around it. Like there's no reason why it can't like bump up against the mountain and go around and flood the areas of the base of the mountain. As long as there's like some kind of catchment in that area, that still has the potential to flood, like you know, like regular valleys around the mountain. Yeah, but the overall elevation is still higher. The thing is that when it comes to temporary fluid mechanics, like it's not as easy to sort of like predict like where the water will go. I feel like I should at least bring a unit here that can react. Maybe I'll bring like Aino. Okay. Like when you think of like you fill water and then after you wait for a while and then like, you know, water is supposed to balance out, right? Like it would just flow until like it fills up all to the point and then it balances out. But that's not actually true in the short term. And in certain times, like not very true when it comes to like the water pressure. Once you take into account the water pressure in different parts. Fluid dynamics is actually a really complicated subject, though. I'm not gonna pretend that I know how a lot of it works, because it's oh, did I know die? That's not good. Oh no. I do though. Do you study fluid dynamics, Roji? Got scammed. Ah, okay. Well, then you will know that we actually rely a lot on like simulations, right, to figure out what's happening with fluids. And that's just because like I don't think we have like a theory that captures everything quite yet. And it's just a lot. I think a lot of the equations are also like either not solvable or also like not solvable efficiently. So that like the simulations will like end up being like the best way to like simulate what would happen in a body of water given like certain conditions. Oh no. Sucrose died again. And I can't revive her. Alright, it's all lucky, I guess. You know, I really thought Shilonen was gonna heal, but I guess Shilonen doesn't heal much. Okay, I think we did now. Oh, Sucrose is alive at least. I'll handle this. We got it. Yeah, that's why I said I would like to run the simulation first. You can try it. Actually, you probably can if you like. You can probably recreate Fontaine like in Milli Astra. Maybe someone's already done this, but you could probably recreate Fontaine in Milli Astra, and then put a bunch of water in there and see what happens. You know, that could actually like. I think it could actually be done in Milli Astra. If you're adventurous enough to like try that, that would be pretty cool. Like Fontaine flood simulation. I feel like someone would probably, one of the Chinese players probably would have done it. That could be fun actually. I mean it answers lot. Yeah, but what about in Milli Astra? Then everybody could experience it. And see what happens. We'll finally find the truth. And you can tell it's actually the truth because it's like done in Milli Astra. Lamau. You can make it a game that people can play. Escape the tsunami. Yeah, we did it, we did it. I was definitely not hard carried, guys. Oh wait, Saito's here, what? He's just sitting here, menacingly. I would need to extract the map though. You might be able to get it in Milli Astra. At least some assets that you can use. Or you would have to recreate it. I think recreating it would be like pretty difficult though. You have to draw out like every single feature. Now you can see it from the 2D map, but you would have to like teleport everywhere to figure out the heights. Although at least like in Fontaine you can actually swim underwater to see like the depth of the water as well. My answer lies that expired blender would be good enough. Do you get wouldn't like your job get you access though? Like, or does your job not get you like a license? Blender would be good enough. Honestly, I would be surprised if no one has already done it. Someone died? Oh, I died. There goes Oh wait, I'm not dead. I'm alive again, guys. Oh, now I'm dead. Oh, I need to heal myself. Heal myself. Oh, we did it. We did it. All right, we need to use resin now. We got 2 transients to use actually today. Saito says, do you like Furina damage? I do like Furina damage. Not my current job, Smoj. Oh, okay. I'm guessing you're an engineer, Brushy. Okay, let's see. I will need Cryo Hydro, so I will run either alloy or. Yeah. Alright, that works. Honestly, it should be fine whatever I bring, but. Was between 170 and 230 okay? Who's luring him? Who was luring him? There we go. There we go. Ouch. He went all the way here. I think the king is dead. Very nice. Alright, appreciate everyone being here. We're gonna go ahead and raid Lucky. And you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go, here's the raid message. We'll be back again tomorrow. Maybe slightly later. I'm going out in the morning. We're gonna have a bit of a brunch with a couple of folks. I hope you guys have a good night. Take care. And we'll be back tomorrow for more shenanigans. I will also try to download when Winds meet and see if maybe we'll try that tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. See if it actually downloads and it works. Because I've heard it is. I don't even know if I can run it yet. Although, but I think it can. But in the meantime, appreciate you being here. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see y'all next time. Alright, bye guys.